So we are going to be discussing the topic on solutions of trigonometric equations. It will be done in two parts because there are two kinds of solutions that you can get out of trigonometric equations. One is particular solutions, the other one is general solutions. So in this video we'll be looking at how to find particular solutions. Okay, so our trigonometric equations, they look something like this: sin x equal to tan x minus 1 equal to 0. Okay, you can have other forms like sin square x plus say sin square pi minus 6 equal to 0. Okay, so you can have trigonometric equations of this form. Okay, it's just like our algebraic equations, like how we had equations in one variable, two variable, quadratic equations, same way. Okay, so now as I said, in this video we'll only be looking at particular solutions. In the following video, the next video on this topic, the part 2, will be concentrating on general solutions. So what are particular solutions? So solutions which lie in this interval of in this semi-closed interval of 0, 2 pi. Okay, so particular solutions are solutions which lie in this interval 0, 2 pi. So what is a solution? So the value which satisfies, which actually fits in this equation. Okay, that is what you call as a solution. So here the value of x is going to be pi by 2. Okay, or 3 pi by 2. So sorry, not 3 pi by 2. It is going to pi by 2. You'll have pi by 2, and then 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2. 5 pi by 2 will be 1. So again, you can have like this n number of solutions, but then not all of them is going to fit inside in this interval. Okay, so I just gave you an example as to what exactly a solution is. It's a value which fits in this equation. Okay, so if I put pi by 6 here, it won't really be equal to 1. As we know, sin pi by 6 is equal to half. It's not 1. Alright, so that is what we actually mean by particular solutions, and you're always going to get two solutions. Okay, when we solve a particular equation to find its particular solutions. So before we go ahead and solve problems, let me tell you the prerequisite to solve the problems of trigonometric equations. You need to know your allied angles very well, and you need to know the values of your trigonometric ratios for angles. Okay, so without these two things, this entire chapter is going to be very difficult for you. So I have made a provision for you in the description below. Please check. I have put a Google Drive link there. Click on it. You'll find a file where you have the allied angle formulae and the trigonometric the values of trigonometric ratios of various angles. Okay, so please do go through it, learn those values. You have no other choice. Without that, this entire chapter is going to be difficult, and we'll see why. Okay, so so I'll be solving a bunch of problems in this video along with you, so you can solve along with me. You can pause the video, solve it by yourself, and then come back and recheck your problems. You're all free to do that. Okay, so let's begin with the first problem. Let me get my question up. Okay, let's take sin x equal to 3 pi by 2. First one, sin x equal to root 3 by 2. Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? Okay, we are supposed to find the value of x which satisfies the equation and gives us this value root 3 upon 2. Okay, it is as simple as that. So as I said, whenever you are hunting for particular solutions, you'll always get two of them. Okay, so let's begin. Now, for which angle will the sine ratio of it give us root 3 upon 2? Okay, so we know that sine pi by 3 is equal to root 3 upon 2. We are aware of this. Okay, so the first question you need to ask is, for which angle will the sine ratio of it be root 3 upon 2? So it is pi by 3. Alright, now I'll just call this as equation 1. I'll call this as equation 2. So if you notice, right hand sides are equal, so left hand side should also be equal. So from 1 and 2, you will have sin x equal to sin pi by 3. Okay, So this implies, now the arrow which I've drawn here, how do you read it? It implies, or this implies, x will be equal to pi by 3. We know that sin x is equal to sin pi by 3. We just now established that. So which it means that x is pi by 3. So this is one solution. Okay, now how do we find the next solution? The clue is in this problem here only. Here we need to bring in our concept on allied angles. Okay, so I'll just brush up our idea on allied angles. As we know, this is our first quadrant, this is our second quadrant, this is our third quadrant, and this is our fourth quadrant, okay, in a 2D space. Now if the angle is in the first quadrant, then all the trigonometric ratios of that angle is going to be positive. Okay, now if the angle is in the second quadrant, the sine ratio, okay, the sine ratio of that angle is going to be positive. Tan and cos will become negative. If the angle is in the third quadrant, then tan ratio will be positive, sine and cos is going to be negative. If the angle is in the fourth quadrant, then cos or cosine of that angle is going to be positive, sine and tan will become negative. Okay, so the trigonometric ratios of the angles here, will all be positive. Here if the angle is situated, then only the sine ratio of that angle is going to be positive, tan and cos is going to be negative. Okay, we will see how it works right now. If the angle is in third quadrant, only tan will be positive, here only cos. Okay, now if you look here, sin x is positive. Okay, it is positive, it is not negative. That means the angle should either lie in the first quadrant, or the angle should lie in the first quadrant and the second quadrant. In third and fourth, sine is going to be negative. Correct. Now we already got an angle pi by 3 which is going to be in this quadrant. Okay, I'll just show you that here it is 0. If the angle is along this line, then it is pi by 2. If it is along this line, then it is pi. If it is along 3 pi by 2 here, again if it comes here, 2 pi. Okay, 0 and 2 pi basically the same. So now how do we find the second angle? Okay, now as I said, sin x is positive. It is positive in the second quadrant, which means angle in second quadrant is going to be pi minus whatever the angle, correct? So here sin x is going to be sin pi minus x. Okay, so pi minus x is an angle in the second quadrant, and the sine ratio of it is going to be positive. So therefore, now here, what is the x value that we've got? Pi by 3. Let's substitute it here. Okay, since x is equal to pi by 3, we'll write here sine pi by 3. Sorry, pi by 3 will be equal to sine pi minus pi by 3. Okay, therefore sine pi by 3, put this in bracket. Now if you equalize the denominator, this becomes 3 pi minus pi, which is 2 pi. So sine 2 pi upon 3. Alright, now I'll call this as equation 3. Now from 3, if you notice, sine pi by 3 is equal to sine x. Sine pi by 3 is equal to sine 2 pi by 3. Therefore sine x is equal to sine 2 pi by 3. It's like a equal to b, b equal to c, therefore a equal to c. Therefore sine x is equal to sine 2 pi by 3. So what will this imply? X is equal to 2 pi by 3. So make sure that you put your answers in a box. Okay, so you've got your two solutions. So I hope you've understood how this problem worked. Now let's take another example. So there are roughly around 5 problems that I'm planning to cover it in this video. Let's quickly get into the next one. Let's take a negative value. Cos x equal to minus 1 upon 2. Okay, cos x equal to minus 1 upon 2. Now here, as you can see, you have a negative sign. We need to be a little careful. I'll just write this as cos x equal to minus 1 upon 2. Okay, I'm just keeping this minus sign out. Just look at half. When will I, for which angle the cosine ratio is half? Okay, like this you need to ask the question, for which angle cosine ratio is half. So it is cos pi by 3, which is equal to half. Okay, cos pi by 3, let me see if yeah, I've got it, cos pi by 3. It's a little confusing. So therefore here I'll say since cos pi by 3 is equal to 1 upon 2, therefore cos x equal to, remember there's a minus sign, so I just need to be careful of that, cos pi by 3. Okay, now here the answer is not that straightforward. I cannot say this implies x equal to minus pi by 3. Okay, that is not really how it works. So I will bring in the allied angle concept again. Okay, so therefore I'll just make it slightly bit easier to follow. Yeah, now for which, I mean, of course, now I need to check the allied angle which will give me minus cos pi by 3. So remember, cos is positive only in the first and the fourth quadrant. It is negative in second and third. Okay, so obviously the first one which I am going to take is the angle in the second quadrant. Angle in the second quadrant is represented as pi minus x. So minus cos pi by 3 is equal to cos pi minus pi by 3. Angle is in second quadrant. In second quadrant only sine ratio is positive, cos is negative. Okay, so that is why cos pi minus pi by 3 has given me minus cos pi by 3. Okay, so again, it's in the description, you will find the file. Please go through it. As I said, without your basics being clear on allied angles, this entire discussion is going to be very difficult. Okay, so I hope you understood from where I got this. Okay, my whole idea is to get the value of x. So instead of minus cos pi by 3, can I write something else? That is going to be this, because we know from our allied angle formula that cos pi minus x will give me minus cos x. Okay, in our case x as pi by 3 we've taken it. So I will call this as equation 1. Okay, I'll call this as equation 2. So from 1 and 2 I'll get cos x equal to cos pi minus pi by 3. Okay, you solve this, so you will get therefore cos x equal to cos 2 pi by 3. So this implies x equal to 2 pi by 3. Okay, so put a nice box around it. So you've got the first solution. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. So again we will look here, minus cos pi by 3. When will I get minus cos pi by 3? So the first case we discussed, cos pi minus pi by 3 gave us minus cos pi by 3. So when I take cos pi plus pi by 3, I will get again minus cos pi by 3. Why? Because pi plus pi by 3 means angle is in third quadrant. Pi plus pi by 3. Angle is going to be in the third quadrant. So let's write that. Let's write that down. Therefore, minus cos pi by 3 equal to cos pi plus pi by 3. Okay, so you can solve it here only. It's better if we do that. Cos pi by 3 equal to cos 4 pi by 3. Correct? So we'll call this relation as relation 3. So in your books you will find from 1 and 3, if I compare 1 and 3, I will get cos x equal to cos 4 pi by 3. So this implies x is equal to 4 pi by 3. So I got my two solutions. The other solution was 2 pi by 3. Okay, so I hope you understood how to deal with the negative values as well. Right? So now moving on to another problem. Let's take another negative angle problem. People tend to make mistakes in the moment you see a minus sign. There is some weird kind of fear which gets into people's hearts. Okay, so it's trigonometric equations is no exception. Okay, in fact it is double here because there is trigonometry also involved. Anyway, so cot x is going to be 1 upon tan x, which is equal to minus 1 upon root 3. Cot x I can write as 1 upon tan x. So therefore, now since these two ratios are equal, I can use the invertendo property. So tan x equal to minus 1 upon root 3. So invertendo simply says that numerator becomes denominator, denominator becomes numerator. Okay, so that is what happen. That is what is happening here. It is 1 root minus root 3 upon 1. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put this again in the bracket, same logic. Okay, ask the same questions, follow the same lead. Okay, it's like you're solving a case. So you have 1 upon root 3. For which angle tan ratio is 1 upon root 3. Okay, so we know that when tan is pi by 6, is it tan pi by 6? Yes, it's tan pi by 6. See, even it's confusing for me too. So 1 upon root 3. Okay, now I can just simply substitute this value which is there in the bracket with this value. Okay, so therefore I can write tan x will be equal to, I'll call this as 1, I'll call this as 2. Some people who are very who have that obsessive compulsive disorder of writing numbers, they'll write it. So I can, from 1 and 2, I can simply say that tan x is equal to minus tan pi by 6. Okay, so again we need to find the value of x. Won't really get it because you have a negative sign here. Okay, so bring in allied angle straight away. So when will I get minus tan pi by 6? Pause the video, you can check it. Okay, so I guess you figured it out. Tan is going to be negative in the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant. Okay, you check that diagram which is there in your book, which you drew earlier along with me. So therefore I'll write here since minus tan pi by 6 is equal to tan pi minus pi by 6. Okay, pi minus x means angle is in second quadrant. Okay, so pi minus pi by 6 means angle is in second quadrant. So if angle is in second quadrant, tan value, the tan ratio of it is going to be negative. So x in our case is pi by 6. Correct? According to that formula, going by that formula. So suppose if I call this as 3, I'll call this as 4. So from 3 and 4, if you compare, you will have tan x equal to, just solve this part out. So you will have tan 5 pi by 6. So this implies, this implies x is equal to 5 pi upon 6. Okay, now this is not over. Okay, we need to get the other solution also. So again, minus tan pi by 3, since minus tan pi by 3 is equal to tan 2 pi minus pi by 3. Okay, 2 pi minus pi by 3 means angle is in fourth quadrant, and in fourth quadrant tan is going to be negative. Okay, so again I'll call this as 5. So you compare 3 and 5. So from 3 and 5 you will get, therefore tan x equal to, solve this part, 3 to the 6 pi, sorry, this is not pi by 3, it is pi by 6. Okay, 6 to the 12 pi minus pi is 11 pi. So this becomes 11 pi upon 6. So this implies x equal to 11 pi the whole upon 6. Okay, you've got two solutions. So I have done two problems based on the negative values here. Now I'll do one more problem with a positive value, so it's balanced out. Okay, so let's take the problem. Let me just check if I can find any questions. Oh yes, last problem for this video. So again, I'm repeating, without your basics being clear on allied angles and trigonometric ratio values, this chapter is going to be super difficult. Okay, sec x equal to 2 upon root 3. I don't mean to discourage you by any way, but it's just I'm just warning you on the outset. Okay, general solution is going to be even more trickier, so it's best that you get used to these formulae. Now sec x can be written as 1 upon cos x, which is equal to 2 upon root 3. Okay, invertendo, you will get, root 3 upon 2. Okay, now again, for which angle cosine ratio of it is going to be root 3 upon 2. Okay, ask the question in that fashion. You will find that for cos pi by 6, so for cos pi by 6 you have root 3 upon 2. Okay, so you compare, so you'll have to write your since 1 and 2, so come from 1 and 2 you have cos x equal to cos pi by 6. Okay, so this implies x equal to pi by 6. So we got the first answer. So when we don't have a negative sign, then it's quite simple, as you can see, but the moment you have a negative sign, then we need to be a little extra cautious. So you got the first solution. Now let's move to the next one. Okay, now we are aware that cosine of an angle is going to be positive in the first quadrant and in the fourth quadrant. Okay, so angle in fourth quadrant is represented as 2 pi minus x. Okay, so cos 2 pi minus x is going to be cos x. So I'll write here, therefore x I've got as pi by 6, so I'll just write pi by x equal to pi by 6. So I'll just substitute that. Therefore cos pi by 6 equal to, solve this out, so you will get cos 11 pi by 6. Okay, now I've got this expression here 3, I'll call this as 4. So now if you compare 3 and 4, cos pi by 6, cos pi by 6, they are equal to both these sides. So therefore from 3 and 4 you have cos x equal to cos 11 pi upon 6. So this implies x equal to 11 pi by 6. Okay, so I hope you guys have some clarity on how to find out particular solutions for trigonometric equations. Remember, we've just now discussed only particular sections part, particular solutions part. In the next video, that's the part 2 of trigonometric equations, solutions of trigonometric equations, we will be looking at general solutions. So general solutions is slightly bit advanced compared to this one. So please, again, I'm telling you, please go through the link, the file which I have put up in the drive. Go through it, go through those allied angle formulae and the trigonometric ratio values. They are absolutely essential for the problems which you will be solving. Also, I'll be putting up an assignment worksheet along with that formula list in the description below. Please go through it, solve the question out, and you can send the solution to me so that I can